Hello everyone, and welcome to week 2 of building online community with social media. Last week you spent a lot of time making some important early connections with your peers and getting set up and oriented to using our first tool, VoiceThread. You also contributed to a collaborative learning activity by editing one slide in our Google presentation, which is a tool that is part of the Google Docs suite. This week's unit is designed to do a few things. First, take time to pause and think about your learning experience last week. This class is designed to engage you in metacognition, which is simply the process of learning about how you are learning. Reflection is an essential part of learning, and it's what enriches critical thinking and moves learners into deep learning experiences. Deep learning is evidenced when learners start to take what they've learned and apply these ideas to their own life. That's one evidence, I should say. It's often to hear about students remarking on these types of experiences as those that ended up changing who they are or the way that they see the world. Without metacognition, these types of experiences really are unlikely to occur. Now, I stress this to you because there are many people today who are extremely critical about today's youth and argue that more and more young people are moving quickly and don't take time to reflect and be mindful of how they are moving through life. And a lot of people make this kind of connection to technology as being an effect of that. I don't necessarily agree with that perspective, but I want to plant a seed in each of your minds about the amazing potential that I see in technology tools like VoiceThread for integrating reflective spaces into any class, whether it's face-to-face, online, or hybrid. And we as educators need to teach metacognition skills. And that's why they're being modeled here. Secondly, this week you will continue to interact and connect in community with your peers. Everything you submit in this class, take notice, is shared openly in a peer-to-peer environment, and that's probably quite different from the way you've learned in most of your formalized experiences in education. And I would bet, I might be wrong, but I would bet it's probably pretty different from most of the classes that you currently teach. I don't know. Maybe I'm completely wrong there. But this class is very peer-to-peer oriented. With the exception of the poll that you completed in week 1, the survey that you submitted to me in week 1 also, and there's also a quiz that you'll do in week 3 that you'll submit to me. It's a simple quiz. Don't get nervous about it. Third, you're going to be building upon that toolkit. This week you'll be adding 2 new tools to your toolkit. There'll be some other ones dabbled in. Don't worry. There'll be more if you want more. Ning and also Twitter/Hoot course. I'm kind of putting those into a single category, but they're really 2 tools. Let's start with Ning. Ning is a private or closed social network. Basically, with Ning, you can create a social network around any topic and just allow whoever you want to become a member of it. In Moodle this week, you will click on an invitation link. I will approve your invitation, and you will be able to access our network. Inside Ning, once you're there, you will explore a visually rich, highly participatory space. And I want you to spend time getting oriented to it. Just spend some time exploring it. And also think about how moving around and sharing in that environment compares to being in a course management system like Blackboard or Moodle. So imagine yourself as a student and how that feels different. In Moodle, you'll have a couple of required Ning assignments this week to complete, and they will be for points in the class. One of them will be to customize your Ning page, and another is to respond to a blog prompt that I have written by adding a new post to your very own blog in Ning. The blog is my favorite part of Ning. Instantly, every student has a blog and all the students are connected and ready to roll. So you can be thinking about how you could actually be crafting your own prompts in a course management system and having your students respond to the blog prompts in Ning. Remember, those blogs are rich multimedia spaces, so you could put videos in them, images. They don't just have to be text. It really starts to open the doors and possibilities. You'll also be interacting in Hoot Course this week. Hoot Course is a tool that uses Twitter's API, which is basically the code that runs Twitter, but allows instructors to organize a Twitter-like conversation in a private group called a Hoot Course. Basically, an instructor like me joins Hoot Course, which is free, creates a course like I've done for Boxem, pastes the invitation link into a course management system, which is exactly what I've done in Moodle. So you're going to get to that invitation link this week, and you're the students. You will click on that link, and when you click on it, you will be asked to basically either create a Twitter account, or if you already have a Twitter account, you will join or log into Hoot Course with that Twitter account. So remember, it's using the Twitter API. Okay. So the benefit here is if you have a lot of students who already have Twitter accounts, a lot of them do these days, not everyone, but a lot of them do, they just use Hoot Course using that account. And then after you log into Hoot Course using the Twitter account info, you become a member of the Hoot Course. All right. Meanwhile, the instructor, me, embeds the Hoot Course widget somewhere into the course management system or other course site, and I've done that in Moodle, so you'll see that on our course page if you haven't already. And the students can send private updates through the widget using, basically using their Twitter account. They're logged into Hoot Course. The updates do not appear on Twitter unless that option is selected in the widget. Now, all of this is included in Moodle, so don't worry. There are other options too for participating. For example, you or your students can send messages from a mobile phone. Now, not a smartphone. I'm talking a mobile phone. So a lot of students don't have smartphones, they just have cell phones. And that's what's great about using the text messaging option. And I have instructions again for how to do that in Moodle. But basically it requires connecting your Twitter account to your mobile phone. And if you don't want those updates that you're sending from your text messaging to appear publicly on Twitter, then you have to set your Twitter account to protected. I know that's a lot of info. And again, it's all repeated later. I want to be stressing that there are options, because options are good because they accommodate the needs of more learners. So I really want to encourage you to try to experiment with Hoot Course using more than just one participation method. So please, before you jump into Hoot Course, I know you're probably excited and you want to do it now, review the content in Unit 2. I have included some intriguing examples of how Twitter is being used as a back channel in college courses today. I think it might give you some good ideas, so check that out before you get started. That's it for now. Remember, if you have questions, please post them in the Q&A forum. Unless they're of personal nature, then they should be sent directly to me. Have a great week too, everybody.